Ever walk out of Costco thinking you scored a great deal, only to realize later you wasted money on stuff you didn't even need? Or worse, had to throw out? It's frustrating. You try to shop smart, but those bulk bargains can be sneaky. What looks like a steal in the moment ends up sitting unused, going bad, or just not living up to the hype. I've made those mistakes too. Grabbing that oversized pack or warehouse exclusive item, thinking I was being savvy, only to regret it later. And here's the truth. Not everything at Costco is the smart buy it appears to be. Some of the most popular items are actually costing you more in the long run. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly 10 Costco products that might seem like smart purchases, but quietly chip away at your budget. Some of them are things you probably buy all the time. And once you see why they're on this list, you'll never look at them the same way again. If you want to shop smarter, avoid frustration, and keep your budget on track, this list is for you. Before we dive in, make sure you tap that subscribe button so you never miss a new video. Let's jump in. Number 1. Organic English cucumbers. You think you're being healthy and smart grabbing that big pack of organic English cucumbers. They look crisp, clean, and perfectly lined up in plastic. But here's what they don't tell you. Cucumbers are extremely water-dense, which makes them one of the most perishable veggies in your cart. And when you buy a 6-pack from Costco, unless you're eating cucumbers every day, odds are half of them will rot in your fridge. It's a classic case of bulk gill, eh? Feeling like you have to use something quickly just because you bought it in quantity. But cucumbers don't work on your schedule. They spoil fast, even if you wrap them in paper towels, keep them in the crisper drawer, or store them upright. A couple days of neglect, and suddenly you're left with a slimy, mushy mess that's not just gross. It's a waste of your money. Instead, buy cucumbers 1 or 2 at a time from your local grocery store or farmer's market. That way, you're picking exactly what you'll use, when you'll use it. You'll get better texture, fresher taste, and you won't have to deal with guilt from tossing spoiled produce. Here's a tip. If you like having cucumber slices on hand, prep a few at a time and store them in cold water in a sealed container. They'll stay fresh and crisp for days. Bottom line, a bulk deal that ends in food waste is never a deal. Buy less, enjoy more, and stop paying for produce that ends up in the trash. Number 2. Canned soda. It's easy to assume Costco has the best deal on soda. Big cases, low per can price. Sounds like a win, right? But here's what smart shoppers know. Grocery stores, drugstores, and even gas stations often run aggressive promotions on canned soda that beat Costco's pricing by a mile. You're buying 36 cans in one go, often of the same flavor, thinking you're set for the month. But meanwhile, Walmart, Target, or Walgreens is offering 12 packs at half the cost during weekly promotions. Add in mix and match options and limited edition flavors you'll never see at Costco, and suddenly that deal looks pretty flat. Worse, bulk soda takes up space like in your pantry, in your fridge, in your garage, and if you don't drink it fast enough, you risk cans going stale or losing fizz. Nobody wants to crack open a warm, flat cola just because it sat too long in storage. Here's a smarter way to save. Track store sales, use grocery store apps, and stock up when there's a real deal, not just a big box price. You can also find better variety and flexibility. Bonus tip. If you do buy in bulk, store half your stash in a cool, dark space away from sunlight to preserve carbonation. Rotate older cans to the front. The takeaway? Don't fall for the big bundle trap. Buy what you'll drink, not what looks impressive in your cart. Number 3. Kirkland Signature Bagels. Costco's bakery section smells amazing. Warm loaves, giant muffins, and those big plastic bags of Kirkland bagels. But here's the catch. They force you to buy 12 at a time. No mix and match, no smaller packs. Just a dozen dense bagels with a short shelf life and 0 preservatives. Now, unless you have a big family or plan to freeze them right away, most people don't get through the pack fast enough. A few days in, they turn rock hard, dry out, or worse, start growing mold. Suddenly, that deal is half a trash bag. This is one of those buys where Costco's bulk model backfires. Bagels are best when fresh, not when they've been resuscitated in a toaster from near death. And frozen bagels? They're fine in a pinch, but they never taste as good. Instead, pick up bagels in smaller batches from your local bakery or grocery store's fresh section. They'll taste better, last longer, and you won't have to stress about wasting food. Here's a small hack. If you do go the freezing route, slice bagels in half before freezing. That way, you can toast them straight from the freezer without thawing the whole thing. Bottom line, stale carbs aren't savings. Skip the dozen and buy fresh as needed. Number 4. Premium steaks. Costco's meat department looks like steak heaven. Big cuts, marbled beef, and those shiny prime labels that promise restaurant-quality meals at home. But here's the thing. Just because you're buying in bulk doesn't mean you're getting the best deal. Many local grocery stores and butcher shops run sales on high-quality steak cuts that actually beat Costco's per-pound pricing. You're paying for packaging, quantity, and convenience, not necessarily value. And unless you're freezing portions immediately, you might not even get to enjoy all of that meat at peak freshness. Here's what savvy shoppers do instead. Check local sales ads before heading to Costco. Butchers often offer custom cuts, trimming, and fresher options. Plus, smaller portions mean you're not committing to a freezer full of meat you may not even cook in time. Pro tip: learn to recognize a true prime cut versus choice or select. It makes a difference in taste and tenderness. The bottom line? Don't assume bigger packaging means better pricing. Always compare. Number 5. Costco Clothing. It's easy to get lured in. You're walking through Costco, checking off your grocery list when you spot a stack of Kirkland brand shirts or those soft-looking lounge pants. The prices are low, the styles seem fine, and it feels like a smart little bonus buy. But here's the problem. That clothing deal? It often comes at the cost of quality. Plenty of shoppers, myself included, have learned this the hard way. A t-shirt that fits great in the store ends up shrinking after one wash. That cozy hoodie you grabbed on impulse starts to pill or lose shape within a month. Seams unravel, colors fade, fabrics stretch out or turn stiff. Before you know it, the stuff you thought was a steal is now taking up space in your donation pile. Or worse, heading straight for the trash. Costco's clothing may be cheap, but cheap isn't the same as valuable. When you're constantly replacing worn-out basics, you're not saving money. You're stuck in a cycle of buying more, spending more, and never really getting your money's worth. A smarter move? Skip the bulk clothing bins and watch for clearance sales on higher quality brands at department store, outlets, or even online. You'll often find far better fabrics, tailored fits, and items that actually hold up over time. And if you still want to shop clothing at Costco, stick to items with solid reviews and inspect the fabric closely. It should feel sturdy, not flimsy. Because at the end of the day, clothing should hold up, not fall apart after 2 washes. And a real deal, that's something you can wear again and again. Number 6. Kiko Soy Sauce. At first glance, that massive bottle of Kiko Soy Sauce at Costco looks like a smart buy. It's nearly 2 liters of liquid gold for a price that feels like a steal. If you cook a lot of Asian dishes, it almost seems like a no-brainer. But here's the part most people don't think about. Soy sauce doesn't last forever, and once it's open, the clock starts ticking. Even though soy sauce has a long shelf life, it starts to lose its bold, umami-packed flavor as soon as it's exposed to air, light, and humidity. Over time, the complex richness that brings stir-fry, marinades, and dipping sauces to life just fades away. What you're left with is something flat, overly salty, and kind of lifeless. By the time you're halfway through that giant bottle, it barely even tastes like soy sauce anymore. Unless you're running a restaurant or cooking with it daily, odds are you'll never use that much before the quality drops off. And when the flavor's gone, so is the whole point. The smarter move? Buy a standard-sized bottle from your local store. Use it while it's fresh and store it in a cool, dark cabinet, or even in the fridge for longer potency. You'll actually get better results and less waste. Bonus tip: try the low-sodium version for more control when seasoning your dishes. It's more versatile and lets you build flavor without going overboard on salt. Bottom line, a huge jug that delivers bland results isn't a bargain. It's just an oversized disappointment. Stick with smaller, fresher bottles and let the flavor do the talking. Number 7. Kirkland Signature Whole Milk. Grabbing 2 big gallons of milk at Costco feels like an easy win. It's cheaper per ounce, saves you an extra trip to the store, and if your family drinks a lot of dairy, it almost seems essential. But here's where it backfires. For most households, that much milk becomes more of a liability than a savings. Milk goes bad fast, and unless your fridge is kept at a consistent 40 degrees or colder, that clock speeds up even more. The moment you crack open both containers, your chances of finishing them before sourness sets in drop drastically. Even if the date on the jug says it's still good, warm spots in the fridge, frequent door openings, or simply time can cause it to spoil early. Yes, technically you can freeze milk, but let's be honest, nobody enjoys that gritty, separated mess once it thaws. It's great for baking in a pinch, sure, but not for drinking or pouring over your cereal. Here's the smarter play. Buy 1 gallon at a time from your neighborhood grocery store. It's easier to manage, stays fresher longer, and reduces the odds of you pouring money, literally, down the drain. Quick tip: if your milk keeps going bad before the date, check your fridge's thermometer. A few degrees too warm could be costing you more than you realize. Because let's face it, spoiled milk isn't just gross. It's wasted money, wasted space, and another reminder that bigger isn't always better. Buy what you'll use, keep it fresh, and skip the bulk dairy regret. Number 8. Bulk fresh garlic. Garlic is one of those kitchen staples you always think you'll use, until you buy a giant bag from Costco and realize you've committed to more cloves than your cooking habits can handle. On paper, it seems like a great idea. Garlic's cheap in bulk, it's versatile, and it adds that bold, savory punch to everything from sauces to sautés. But here's the reality: garlic doesn't last forever, and when it starts to go, it goes fast. Within a couple of weeks, those once firm, fragrant bulbs start to sprout, shrivel, or dry out completely. What's left is a bitter, rubbery mess that barely adds flavor, and worse, can ruin your dish altogether. If you've ever bitten into garlic that's gone green or mushy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Unless you're cooking for a crowd every night, that big Costco bag turns into a slow march toward waste. You think you're saving money, but half of it ends up in the trash. Instead, grab a few fresh heads at a time from your local grocery store or farmer's market. They'll be firmer, fresher, and far more flavorful. And when you store them properly, like in a cool, dry place out of direct sunlight, they'll hold up just fine. Bonus tip: need something that lasts longer? Try frozen pre-minced garlic cubes. They're convenient, keep for months, and still bring plenty of flavor to the pan. Because once garlic loses its punch, your recipe loses its soul. Buy what you'll use, store it smart, and skip the bulk bin guilt. Number 9. Kirkland Signature Cream Cheese. The Kirkland Signature Cream Cheese at Costco seems like an easy money saver. It comes in big blocks, it's priced lower than the name brands, and it feels like one of those quiet wins as a kind of pantry staple you won't have to think twice about. But if you've ever used it in baking, or even just spread it on a bagel, you probably noticed something was off. The texture? Grainy and stiff. The flavor? Flat. It lacks that smooth, creamy tang that makes cream cheese so satisfying. And when it comes to recipes, especially ones that rely on texture like cheesecakes, frostings, or dips, a subpar cream cheese can totally tank the final result. It's the kind of ingredient that seems harmless until it quietly ruins your dessert. This is one of those rare times where the name brand really is worth the extra few bucks. Philadelphia cream cheese consistently delivers that rich, velvety smoothness and tangy depth that makes both baking and basic snacking way better. Here's a smart move. When Philadelphia goes on sale, stock up. Believe it or not, cream cheese freezes surprisingly well. Just let it thaw in the fridge overnight and give it a good stir before using. Because when it comes to cream cheese, shortcuts rarely pay off. You can't fake creamy, and you definitely can't fix a sunken cheesecake with the bargain brand. Stick with what works. Your taste buds will thank you. Number 10. Windshield Wipers. It's easy to assume that buying car essentials at Costco is always a smart move. After all, their bulk deals on motor oil, car batteries, and cleaning supplies seem solid. But when it comes to windshield wipers, that logic doesn't quite hold up. Costco's in-house wipers often look like a great deal. Low price, convenient to grab while shopping, and they seem no different at first glance. But once they're on your car, the issues show up fast. Shoppers report that they wear out quickly, start squeaking after just a few weeks, and leave behind streaks when it matters most. And unlike other car products where quality might not be urgent, wiper performance affects your visibilities and your safety in real time. Imagine getting caught in a downpour, and instead of a clean, clear windshield, you're squinting through smears and skips. That's not just annoying, that's dangerous. Instead, go with a brand that drivers trust, like Bosch, Rain-X, or Michelin. They might cost a few bucks more up front, but they're built to last through rain, snow, and whatever else the road throws at you. Here's a bonus tip. Replace your wipers every 6 months, even if they look okay. Performance drops off fast, and staying ahead of it can make a huge difference during surprise storms or long road trips. Bottom line, a cheap pair of wipers might save you $10 today, but if they fail in the middle of a storm, the price could be much higher. When it comes to visibility and safety, don't cut corners. Invest in what works. So there you have it. 10 Costco buys that look like bargains but can quietly cost you more in the long run. From wasted food to frustrating quality issues, smart shopping means looking past the bulk sticker and thinking about what you'll actually use, enjoy, and rely on. Which of these items surprised you the most? Or do you have your own Costco regret to share? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next round of money-saving advice. Until next time, shop smart, spend less, and don't get fooled by big box bargains that aren't.